Good morning. Greetings, beautiful people. Well, good morning for me. Could be a different time of day entirely for you, depending where you are and when you watch this. I welcome all of you in this present moment, whether it's now or later, because it's always now. And today's movement medicine morsel is going to be focused on calming. That is a thread that runs through all of them, but in particular, it's really nice at this time of year to collect our thoughts, to relax a little bit more deeply. We may be very aware of the stress levels we're feeling, and we may be picking up quite a bit of unconscious stress from others and the situation around COVID. So breathing, bringing the thoughts home, bringing the breath home, moving the body gently in a whole way is a very beautiful practice. So I welcome you today, and I want to introduce you to an acupressure and acupuncture point called Wind Mansion. And my trusty assistant, Andy, is going to help us all understand where this point is. It's at the base of the skull, right where the skull meets the neck. So this is Andy's back, tracing my finger up the spinal vertebrae, and right at the very, very middle, where my fingernail is pointing, that is the point of Wind Mansion. So if you take your fingers, I'll use one because I've got Andy with my other hand. If you feel the base of the skull and you come up right into the center, you're bound to find a very natural indentation. It's right where the skull meets the neck, and it'll feel a little bit more like it goes up more than how it looks here, because there are lots of muscles and tendons that fill in, but right in that very center. Thank you, Andy. Andy loves to make appearances. All right. So you can find that spot, and wherever you are, sitting or standing or even lying down, I like to use my index fingers, but some people prefer using their thumbs. If you use your thumbs, you can even interlace your fingers and press up a little bit with your thumbs and lean your head back. If you use your index fingers, the shoulders aren't quite as involved. Now, of course, if this isn't comfortable, maybe one hand is comfortable, or you could even take something like a small ball, even a tennis ball, and gently press it or lie on it. And, of course, since this is Qigong and yoga, never underestimate the power of visualization. If your shoulders are not happy holding that point to lift your arms up, just touch it, tap it a little bit so that you awaken the sensation there and you can really feel into it. And then just hold your awareness there. So whichever method we're using, we've got either fingers, thumbs, for sure we've all got our mind and our awareness there. And the spine is gently lengthened. Feel your roots. Feel your gentle elongation. Soft smile. And hold the point. Now breathe a little bit in and out through your belly. We'll focus a little bit more on breath in a few moments, but I wanted to introduce this point and we will return to it. We often feel that our thoughts are all over the place, energy being pulled outwards, not knowing what's going to happen, worrying about things. So Wind Mansion is an opportunity to bring the winds of the thoughts back home, to bring them back to your mansion, to bring them back to roost, so to speak, where you can collect them all and they can come and relax and settle. So imagine that, whatever part of that appeals to you, and visualize that any of those errant thoughts or confusing, churning thoughts are being called back, invited back to the mansion, your abode, where they can begin to settle, to feel at ease, maybe have a cup of tea, lie down, have a nap, hot bath, whatever they need. And lowering the hands, and we'll just sit with that for a moment. If you're sitting, I'd like to invite you to sit up nice and tall. So here is our alignment. We're going to do a little bit of breathing. You may even feel that the sense of that point going upwards allows you a lovely suspension energy to the spine. We like that. And if there's any tightness in the shoulders, let's just roll those shoulders a little bit. All of this is gentle today because we're calming. That's the focus today, so we don't want to rush. No point in rushing to try to create calm. Doesn't make sense. And feel your sit bones, maybe wiggle them in the chair so you're very aware of them. And in particular, if we're worrying, we're very much up here, so it throws us off balance. We need to bring energy down into the chest and into the pelvis. So feeling where your sit bones are is important. Feeling where your feet are, that helps to bring the energy into our bodies and to bring in a grounding, earthing quality. Now breathing, sitting up tall. Let's rest each hand on the belly. Your thumbs might be around the navel area, the hands just gently folded or one on top of the other. Nothing special, just contact. And we want to feel the belly. So on the exhale, we're going to make a soft, open mouth exhale as though we're blowing out a birthday candle, but oh so slowly, oh so softly. And with this, feel that your belly is slightly activating to come in. It'll happen quite naturally. You don't have to really do it. It's more about noticing it. And then let the inhale just relax and come into you through the nose, right into your belly. Exhale with that soft, pursed lip sigh. Noticing what in your body pulls in quite naturally. And at the end, relax your belly and let the breath pour in. Let it come in through your nose and go right into where your hands are touching your belly. And one more. Awareness in the exhalation. Feeling what pulls in. And then relaxing everything and receiving the inhalation. Please continue breathing in and out through your nose, but with the same feeling. Noticing how the belly shrinks in a little bit on the exhale, and then relaxing so the inhale is a natural response. Remember to maintain your vertical alignment, in fact your sense of suspension from above and rooting from below, and feeling that belly expand outwards as you inhale and draw inwards as you exhale. Maybe you even felt some of the side waist muscles coming in. So now we want to talk about the sides, because again, when we're worried, when we're overwhelmed, everything's going up and it's going out all over the place. It's kind of frenetic. So we're pulling everything back in. We brought our thoughts back into the wind mansion, brought them home. We're starting to drop our energy into lower parts of our body to feel more connection to the earth, and we're also dropping our breath deeper. So now we want to get the sides, the lower side lungs to expand. So I just learned this little arm technique the other day, and I'd love to share it with you. So when we exhale, we want to bring the elbows in a little bit, and that is to give us the feeling of the side ribs pulling in. And on the inhalation, the elbows open, and you want to have a feeling that the side ribs are expanding. Exhale, let's touch the ribs, and you can even cross your arms, and you're drawing the side ribs in. And inhale, drop the breath right into your side ribs, brush your ribs, and imagine them expanding. And let's try two more. Exhale. You're bringing your elbows and sides in. Inhale, you want to feel the breath coming into the low ribs. And one more. A little narrowing of the sides. And this time on the exhale, let's simply rest our hands on the low ribs, and that could be the thumb and index finger, or it could be the backs of the hands or the palms, dropping the shoulders now. And let's feel that breath coming into the side ribs, connecting to where our hands hold our body. Now, let's put these both together, letting the belly start and then the ribs fan afterwards. So exhale and the ribs and the belly come in. And on the inhalation, you bring the awareness into the belly, and very soon afterwards, it fans and opens into the side ribs. And then as you exhale, first it's the side ribs gently coming in, and then the belly is drawing in. It's very subtle. Inhale into the belly. Let that then flow into the low ribs. Exhale, you feel the low ribs and the hands coming in, and the belly gently emptying. Maybe you want to try this without the hands, just with your awareness. Inhale, belly flowing smoothly into low side ribs. Exhale, those side ribs gently relaxing and the belly following, going inwards. And now, once again, as you continue the breathing, touch either with only your mind or with your mind and hands, thumbs, fingers, or one hand, and see if this changes your experience of your wind mansion. You're adding a fuller, deeper, richer, more grounded breath, and see what this gives you. Continuing to bring those flighty and disorganized, churning thoughts back home where they can rest, where they can come together, where they can be nurtured. And of course, you can come back to this wind mansion holding one point and consciously breathing. It's a lovely thing to do first thing in the morning. When you wake up, it can set the tone for your day. Also a lovely thing to do last thing at night, because you can do it lying in your bed, breathing, calming yourself. Or if you're like me and wake up sometimes surprise in the middle of the night various times and can't get back to sleep, beautiful practice to make that time valuable. Waking up at odd times can be considered a spiritual practice. It can be a very quiet time to do some quiet practices, to focus on breathing, maybe even to get up and do a tiny nurturing thing like making a cup of tea or reading a few passages in an inspiring book. So let's take this with us and come and stand up. For those of you who want to stand, if you'd prefer to stay seated, by all means, please do that. Lift up through the wind mansion point in the crown of the head, root down through the feet, and maybe just a little light shaking or almost wiggling. You want everything to be loose and free. Sometimes worries and churning thoughts can tighten our bodies. We might not be aware of it right away, but we want to keep our bodies loose. Body, mind, spirit, they all are together. They're not separated. They're not compartmentalized. We tend to think of them that way, but if you loosen one up, the rest is going to loosen up as well. If you like, you can shake your hands up a little bit, bounce up and down on the heels. And again, I said today is gentle, so keep this gentle and keep thinking about that wind mansion point. Imagine that rising up and see what that does to your spine and your vertical alignment. I almost feel like I'm hanging from a celestial hook that gives me a little bit of extra buoyancy and release. Maybe you're feeling something like that, or even nicer. And just a little bit of twisting. You can keep your feet in place, or you can lift that back heel just a little bit with that sense of freedom, of buoyancy. And to finish up, we're going to shower with chi. Chi, prana, life force energy, it's all the same. Vitality, it's what gives you a spring in your step, a sparkle in your eye, a natural spontaneous smile that makes everybody and everything around you smile too. So we can cultivate that. So pretend you're holding a ball of energy between your hands. You could even rub your hands to wake them up. And cupping the hands, softening the elbows, bend the knees, but you're still suspended from your wind mansion and also the crown of your head. And as you inhale, imagine that the seed of energy between your hands is growing and expanding out till your fingertips reach to the edges of the world. And as you exhale, the palms are facing up. As you inhale, the body is lengthening. You're embracing the sky, and the sky is embracing you. And on the exhale, all of that beautiful accumulated energy from the sky, the heavens, and the earth, you're drenching yourself, pouring, coating. It's also penetrating you and clearing everything within and washing out exhaustion, washing out worry, washing out stagnation. Exhaling, refreshed, you begin again. Inhaling, the energy is expanding in every part of your body and between your hands. Exhaling, you're relaxing, both palms up. Inhaling from the earth to the heavens, embracing, they embrace one another, and you have all that energy is pouring through your hands, anointing every cell, purifying, clearing. Whatever you want to release is just going, pouring out, and being absorbed by the generosity of the earth. One more. Exhale, collect a ball of light. Inhale, that light is expanding. Earth, sky, your own highest potential, all coming together. Exhale, you relax because there's no hurry here. Inhale, the sky and the earth embrace one another, and then that shimmering light, you pour, you anoint, feel it coating you, feel it going through you, feel that light pressing out and washing down and clearing out any old, stagnant, smoky, fuzzy stuff, and it just pours out through the soles of your feet. And bring your hands to rest over your low belly. This helps us stay grounded after our practices. Knees are soft. Feel your sit bones in the chair if you're in the chair. Feel your sit bones dropping towards the earth if you're standing. Grow upwards through the wind mansion point, the base of the skull, and through the crown of the head. And feel your breath. Inhale, belly, sides of the ribs. Exhale, sides of the ribs soften, belly draws in. Smiling. And notice if anything has changed for you. Is anything new? If you were agitated, do you feel calmer? If you were calm, are you continuing to feel calmer, getting calmer? If you were exhausted, do you feel a little bit more sustained? And if you feel like dropping something into the chat box, please do. Otherwise, I leave you with lots of love. And remember that you can bring yourself back to Wind Mansion anytime you need it. You can lean back at your office chair and just lean into that point and take a few breaths to settle yourself. You can always breathe into your belly and ribs. And we'll see you next time on Movement Medicine Morsels, live or in replay.